Having completed dieselization in 1957, the Pennsylvania Railroad was then faced with the growing age of its electric motors. Freight duties on the PRR at the time were largely handled by P5As and P5s from the 1930s. In the search for a modern electric locomotive, the PRR did build some experimental locomotives, but none of these proved very successful. In 1955, General Electric had designed and built a fleet of 12 Class ELC electric locomotives for the Virginian Railway. These would later go on to serve on the New Haven as their Class EF4 and to Penn Central and Conrail as their Class E33. These locomotives used rectifiers to convert the AC overhead wire current to DC for use in the traction motors. The Pennsy was impressed with its design and started discussions with GE to build a more up-to-date version, which would become their Class E44. The E44 design produced 4,400 horsepower, as opposed to the ELC's 3,300, and used a pair of single-arm Favely pantographs on the roof, another change from the ELC's single standard pantograph. The E44 was a boxier unit, and its utilitarian design eliminated the rounded corners used on the earlier units. This quickly earned them the nickname the Brick. 60 Class E44 locomotives were built using silicone diode rectifiers. These were followed by an additional 6 units using ignitron rectifiers, which were classified as E44A and rated at 5,000 horsepower. Later on, 22 of the original units would be upgraded to E44A specifications under Penn Central. The E44s proved very successful, hauling freight on the Pennsy, Penn Central, and Conrail until Conrail stopped electrical operations in 1981. Some units were sold to New Jersey Transit, and of those, Amtrak bought a group of 8 of those for use on Northeast Corridor work trains. One of these, Locomotive 4456, was the last E44 built and has been preserved at the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania. All other E44s have been scrapped. Rapido's all-new E44 model in HO scale has been accurately scaled from the prototype using measurements and photographs of E44-4456 in the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum. It includes operating pantographs, many road number specific details including 3 types of roof vents, various vent hoods as appropriate, 3 styles of hood doors, 3 styles of end doors, and other small details. It also includes a full cab interior with lighted consoles, and it will be available in DC or DCC sound.
Jeff from Rapido here with an exciting announcement, the first ready-to-run model of Chicago's L. Working in partnership with Chicago Transit Authority, we've designed CTA's 2600 L cars, which were built by Bud in the 1980s and are still in service today. The Bud 2600 series spans a large amount of CTA service history. When the 2600s were delivered, they coincided with the extension of service to O'Hare Airport and modernized the CTA fleet. We'll make 2 configurations in HO. As built, the 2600s featured an attractive charcoal gray band around the windows, vinyl red, white, and blue striping, and Spirit of Chicago logos. They were set up for 2-person operation. The operator worked in a cab on the front right side of an A car, while the front left was open to the rest of the car with seating. The conductor worked at the rear of the A car, which had door and announcement controls. This continued until the 1990s when CTA began to convert to 1-person operation in stages. The universal change was the rebuild of the entire fleet by Alstom beginning in 1999. When cars returned, they looked dramatically different. All decoration was removed and cars featured clean stainless steel. Cars also featured CTA's Speedlines logo, which was changed to the Circle logo in the 2000s. The 2600 rebuild did major upgrades to many system components, as well as interior changes more visible to passengers. At cab ends, there was now a full wall across the front. During operation, the cab door is closed off and allows operators access to both sides for door controls. When cars are trailing, closing the cab door can open up 2 seats in the front left that are inside the front wall. Single seats at the rear of A cars where the conductor worked were replaced with double seats, and flip seats were added near a door in each car for designated wheelchair access. The Bud 2600s exist in the same configuration to this day, though a portion of the fleet has been retired. Nevertheless, they can still be seen and ridden all over Chicago. Our model will be a powered car and unpowered car in each pair, with coreless motors in the trucks of the power car that allow for an open interior. Each car will have working headlights, marker lights, and marker destination lights. On CTA trains, the two-color code of those lights tells tower operators routing information, and they will work in HO scale.
Okay, so what do you need?
Elevated track. Lots of track.
We are also excited to announce Elevated Transit Track. This will allow an easy way to recreate fascinating historic transit structures for CTA and more. Kits include transit track detail, including guardrails and third rail. On curved sections, there's a unique guardrail made from rail flipped on its side and bolted, matching CTA practice on many curves. Bridge kits key together with track sections, and track sections have pins to connect together. Rail joiners on main rails will provide electrical connections. If you plan to model CTA, there are many types of tracks and structures you can model. Aside from elevated steel structures, there are also concrete viaducts with ballasted decks, concrete embankments, ground level trackage with grade crossings, and subway tunnels. There are tons of possibilities.
Lunatics!